All right, today I want to talk to you guys about the digital strategy roadmap. I've seen a lot of therapists struggling over the years with figuring out where to start and what kind of path to follow along the way of creating a digital strategy and carrying one out. I also see a lot of therapists getting stuck around what order to do things in. So I've developed this digital strategy roadmap to make it super clear where to start, where to go next, and how to troubleshoot and work through issues along every step of the way. Step one, it starts with a killer website. Let's talk about some different elements of a killer website. First of all, potentially most importantly, as a therapist in private practice, you've got to have a fantastic logo. You should spend money on this logo. I think the more money you're spending on it, the better it's going to come across, the better it's going to represent you and your business. And ultimately, like I've said it before, this is one of those things that if you get it right the first time, you're not going to have to get a new logo or do a rebrand for a pretty long time. So spend the money now and you'll be glad that you did. From there, you've got to develop at least one primary and one secondary brand color, or ideally have your designer who did the logo do some of this work for you. You should get clear on not only these brand colors, but get clear on the style of your brand, and ideally have a designer develop a style guide. That's going to include things like how to present the logo, what are the appropriate uses and different variations of the logos, and then as well, you're going to be able to have some brand fonts that you can use consistently across everything you do in your marketing. From there, you got to make sure that on this great website that it's simple, it's clear, it's crisp, it's not overwhelming, and that you're also expressing your brand with great images. This includes both the images of you, your team, and your office. Make sure you've got great high-quality photos done by a professional, and then make sure that you have really high-quality stock images. If you are using stock images, make sure that you're sourcing them from a place where you can get high-resolution images, and then ones that really reflect the look and feel of your brand. Can your clients see themselves in your images? What does it say about your business that you're using these specific images that you've selected? From there, you've got to have a great tagline. A good tagline does one of three things: inspires, intrigues, or excites the person. It's just a little piece of copy that basically encourages that person to read more and take more interest in your business, or to potentially turn them away if they're not a good fit for your business. Work on developing a short, simple, catchy tagline that you can use and reuse throughout the rest of your website and in other places in your marketing collateral. You also want to use this tagline as a bit of a core thesis for the rest of your copy to follow. Speaking of copy, you've got to get clear on your message. You've got to develop great copy for your website. Your message is vital. Err on the side of brevity when you're writing copy for your website. Always use no greater than third grade language. Avoid using clinical terms, jargon, and acronyms whenever possible. If you're going to use acronyms or explain your credentials and stuff like that, do it in a separate section of your website, maybe toward the bottom for the people that do want to read that information. Make sure you speak directly to the pain of your clients. Make a pivot in your copy somewhere that pivots toward hope and instills some hope and leads them with a call to action. Every great website needs to have a clear, unified call to action on every single page. So that means generally a button that is repeating itself throughout the website and is going to a unified place. Step 2 on the digital strategy roadmap is crushing all 3 pillars of Google. Let's talk about the 3 pillars. Do a search right now in your area for a business like yours. So if you were to search Chicago psychologist, you're going to see virtually 3 sections of Google. The first section is AdWords. So this is our paid traffic. I think most private practices should be running AdWords of some kind. Keep in mind that each section of Google that I'm talking about here has its own ranking system in itself, so there's a lot to learn here. The second section is the Google My Business section, or the map view that you're going to see. You can also run ads in this view. And then finally, the third pillar of Google is your organic search results, or what a lot of people say it referred to as your SEO. Now, there's a lot of videos that I've done and a lot of material out there that addresses these 3 different pillars, but you want to make sure that you're crushing all 3 of them really, really well before you move on to the next step. So again, the first 2 steps: create a killer website with all those elements I just talked about, and then number 2, make sure you're crushing it on all 3 pillars of the Google game. Don't move on before you've done these things. Okay, now that you've done these first 2 steps, it's time to start tracking what you're doing and seeing what's working. So step 3 is to start tracking and then using your KPIs, or your key performance indicators, to diagnose problems in your marketing and to monitor the health of your business. So this is going to be everything from the number of clients you've seen, the number of inquiries you've had and from what sources this week, the number of inquiries that were converted, your web traffic, your Google AdWords statistics, your Google My Business statistics, your email list subscribers. You want to start tracking basically any number that can reflect the health of your business and generally the digital marketing of your business. This is going to come in super handy when it comes time to start diagnosing snags in your business and in your digital marketing. It's also going to help you evaluate what's working. So if you have good traffic and then you change the copy on your page and you have that same amount of traffic but less people calling from that page, then you know that changing that copy was not for the best. So you can use the data that you're getting, even if it's just a little bit of data starting out, to really start to take the pulse of your business and then be able to measure the changes that you're going to make along the way. Number 4, start to steadily build your email list, okay? Most therapists in private practice should start taking email marketing seriously, even if you're just developing a small email list. A lot of therapists, when they get low or have clinicians in their group practice getting low, they panic and they think, well, I've got to go back to the well and generate completely new leads. Well, guess what? If you have a great email list, you don't have to do that. So a great email list is going to come in handy for both getting more people in the door when you're low, staying in touch with old contacts or clients that went inactive after a vacation or after a long summer or whatever it is, and it's going to ultimately save you a lot of money. It's one of the most cost-effective and virtually free for a lot of, depending on the size of your email list. It's just a fantastic way to be digitally marketing your business. And it's just a really valuable asset for you to have for your business long term, especially if you're growing into a group practice. Number 5, okay, now that you've gotten these foundations down, so you've got a killer website, you're crushing all 3 pillars of the Google game, you're tracking your KPIs and learning how to accurately diagnose and address issues. You're starting to build your email list. Then you want to finally switch gears and take some of your focus toward your content marketing. So your content marketing refers to any sort of content you're putting on the site. Your content is really the engine of your business when it comes to your digital marketing and your digital presence. Your content marketing can be whatever you choose. It can be regular blogging or video blogging or podcasting. Whatever it is, it's a way for you to establish expertise, to get more people to your site from different places, and to keep them there for longer. That ultimately shows Google that, hey, this site is important and popular, so we should rank it higher. Your content is also going to be really handy when it comes to the next step, which is brand awareness and social media. So notice that social media and brand awareness are really last on my list. I see way too many therapists focusing on this stuff way up front in their business before they've done any of these other steps. So if you've reached this step, congratulations, that means you're in a good place. That means you're generating plenty of leads through your website. You have a killer website. You're crushing all 3 pillars of the Google game. You're tracking it all. You're building a small but meaningful email list, and you're starting to get a feel for content marketing. You basically want to figure out, how am I just going to now get my brand out in front of more people, knowing that I'm already generating more than enough leads for my business. So your brand awareness might come from social media, so your Facebook business page, your Instagram. You can, of course, use your email list as a way to promote brand awareness as well. It's just about staying present in the minds of people in your community who maybe don't need your help right now, but they might need it pretty soon down the road. So that's it. Those are the 5 steps. That is the 5-step digital strategy roadmap. I can't make it any more simple than that. If you get lost anywhere along the way, then go back a step. Okay, so if you're on step 4 and you're doing a lot of content marketing, but you're not getting good referrals in the door, you're not getting high inquiries, you're not getting good the phone ringing enough, well, go back to the very beginning, right? So make sure you've got a killer website with all these important elements. Make sure you're crushing all 3 pillars of the Google game, and then work your way back up those steps along the way in this roadmap. I hope this video was helpful. Do me a favor, click that subscribe button below, leave some comments, and if I can help you through any of these stages along the roadmap, go to thejohnclarke.com to apply to work with me today.